you're new to this channel, I'm writing my first book, Perfectly Fractured. And if you follow my content, you would know that I'm really close in the process to actually publishing it. But this video is going to be a bit different because I'm not going to be talking about Perfectly Fractured today. I'm going to be talking about my second book, which I have been working on. So today, let's talk about how I've been going with book 2. In January, I did make the promise to myself that I would make my dream become a reality and that I'll publish my first book in 2020. And now this dream has just sort of blown up. I've been thinking about the possibility of actually writing a second book. Writing book 2 has been a completely different experience from writing book 1. I think it has a lot to do with having a plan. I think having a plan has completely changed the experience and for the better. And I think too that life is pretty chaotic right now for me at the moment. And trying to juggle 2 books at the same time amongst other things has been really difficult for me. I needed to exercise a lot of discipline when writing book 2. I needed to come up with a plan and to stick to that plan. So my plan for book 2 was to get 1,000 words at least down per day. And when I first started writing book 2, it wasn't working. So I was writing during the day, I was writing during the morning, and the words just wouldn't come to me. I was really struggling to get any words down, even with a plan. So I knew that that wasn't working. But then I found that when I was writing in the evening and at nighttime, I was writing much better and I was getting so much more words down. So this is when I found that this time of day works best for me. So I stuck to writing in the evenings every night. Every night. There were some nights where I was so exhausted and I just did not feel like doing it. But then I just kept on going. There were times where I didn't want to sit down and do it. I just didn't want to do it. But I sat down in front of the computer. I started typing. But then once I got into the momentum of things, I got down more words than what I normally would get down. So sometimes not feeling in the mood isn't really the best indicator to go off. I think that if you're writing for a while and you spend time in front of your computer for a while, and you just can't get words down, then yes, that's a sign, that's an indicator that you probably shouldn't be writing right now. But if you find that you pick up momentum and that you're still getting some stuff down, I would keep going. What's different about writing book 2 is that for book 1, I didn't write it from start to finish. I wrote whatever I felt like writing. So I might have written an end scene, then a beginning scene, then the middle. So it was all over the place, and this made me really frazzled, and I was just a bit, it was a bit hard for me to know when I was actually done with writing. But then with book 2, I've written it from start to finish. That's because I had a plan. I knew what I was writing. I didn't get stuck. I didn't feel like I need to write something else. You know what I mean? I was actually really okay with writing from start to finish. No, I wasn't writing based on mood, but I had a plan there to go off, even if it was a very brief plan. And what I've found that's really helped me in this process too is that because I'm writing it from start to finish, I know that I can sort of get a feel for when the plot is moving too fast, when things are happening that probably shouldn't happen just yet in the story, and when I might have to write more scenes or more fillers. I think what's good about having this plan too is that it isn't a firm plan, so I can go off that plan if I really feel like it. So there have been times where I've actually come up with some really good new ideas, and I've actually written down more scenes and I've sort of come up with it on the spot, so I haven't even really gone off the plan in those cases. So I think that's really good that I can still use my imagination. Not everything's all you have to get this done, this done, this done, you know what I mean? I think what's been really good in this process of writing my second book and even my first book is that I've found what works for me. I have discovered myself as a writer. I know what type of writer I am. I know how fast I type. I know what my limits are. It's really good not to push yourself too hard out of those limits because you're just going to get exhausted and you're just going to get turned off writing. But when you sort of take the time to learn yourself as a writer, then you can sort of use this to your advantage. And this is how I got to my achievement of 50,000 words. I cannot believe it. I don't know where the time went, but one second I didn't have a second book, and then the other second I had 50,000 words down, which is really crazy. And I really trust this plan, and I can really thank that plan for that. And I'm not even finished yet. I was around the 50,000 word mark with book 1, and I will sort of finish that first draft. Like, I still had stuff to write, but it was basically like all down, you know what I mean? But with this second book, like, I'm at 50,000 words and I've still got like a couple of scenes to write. Like, I am near the end of the book, but I feel like it could go up like another 10,000 words easily. And I don't know whether I'm going to write a prologue or not. I may not, may not, whatever. But I'm going to have to write a conclusion to the story on top of that. So there's no way that it's going to be under 60,000 words, my first draft. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself. Like, when I was first writing my first book, like, I thought that even writing 50,000 words, oh my god, there's so many words, how am I going to get it down? But now I'm there and I'm like, oh my god, I've still got more to write. So that's a really good achievement that I'm really proud that I have done. I also have an action plan for book 2. So book 1, I've made the mistakes of doing 1,000 different drafts and it's just a never-ending process, and I'm not doing that to myself again. So with this time around, I'm going to make sure that I've got a set amount of drafts, what I'm going to do in each draft, and I'm going to tell you what I have planned. So for the first draft, my main goal is to just get the story down on paper. It doesn't matter if it sounds a bit messy, I just need to make sure that I've got that story down and I've got something to work with. For the second draft, I'm going to be bulking it up. So bulking it up is setting descriptions, character descriptions. Anything that I may have missed in the first draft, I'm just going to bulk up, make sure that I haven't skipped details, that sort of thing. So I expect the word count to go up even more after the second draft. So the third draft, I'm going to be cutting it down. So I'm going to, any sentences, any paragraphs I hate, they're going. Anything that I may have missed, I changed, that sort of thing. The goal of the third draft is to get rid of words and stuff in the story that I'm really not happy with or I don't like. And that comes to the fourth draft. So the fourth draft is going to be spelling, grammar, formatting, all that stuff that I'm doing for book 1 now. I'm going to be doing that for book 2 in the fourth draft. And I think that fourth draft really gives way to the final draft, which will probably be me printing it out and doing the final once over. But that's much less work than actually doing what I've done for the first book. I think because I have an action plan, I'm going to get it done a lot quicker because I know what the aim of each of these drafts is going to be. And it's probably going to speed up the process. Like, I think it's going to take me, well, this is a prediction. I don't know whether it's right or not, but I feel like this is process, book 2 is going to be much faster than what it's going to be for book 1. So that's a good thing because that means that I can get book 2 out to you guys quicker. These are some of the things that I've learned from writing book 1, and that's where I'm up to in writing book 2. 50,000 words, pretty good achievement considering the time frame that I've done it in and the fact that I'm actually juggling another book as well. So I'm really happy with that. If you have any questions for me, drop them down in the comments down below. And if you're interested in following my journey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching.